Hello.
Hello, Lee.
Hello. Well, shoot. I guess I figured that's a salute. Hello, sir.
Come on. Let's say what we were doing best, friends. Let me just put some camera on, just quickly, just to say hi.
Oh yeah.
Long time no see.
Yeah. No kidding. No kidding. Boy, it's been I feel like I haven't seen you since coronavirus.
Yeah, definitively. It was like I had like to travel for work just before it went crazy. I went to Prague, and then when I came back, it was like getting all crazy and stuff.
Yeah, really. So that was the last bit of travel that you had done then was.
Yeah, Prague for
Okay.
work.
Okay. Huh. So we have. Well, I was just talking with a member of Chaos Mesh. It's a different project, and they might be joining. So we'll see.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay, I'll take out the camera. Sorry.
Oh no! Actually, the camera is great. Like I encourage everybody to turn theirs on. It would be great.
Okay, but like.
But if any. Oh no! Yeah. That's fantastic, man. That's I'm jealous. Especially of the what's on the top shelf. What do you call those?
The TIE Fighter.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, but then I have like the Millennium Falcon old edition, which I built. So if I would keep it now, it's like $1,000 or something like that.
Okay.
Because they don't do it anymore. That's the old version. So since the new 789 movies, now they have like the Millennium Falcon, but the new version. So this is still the old, and I have the ESS Enterprise from Star Trek. Yeah, whatever. I like Legos. Building stuff.
That's fantastic. Some of those will take like a full day to put together, I expect.
Several hours for sure.
Nice. Okay, I am putting in the meeting minutes, the link to the meeting minutes in the chat. Good morning. Naveen is here. Shivai was just here. We lost him, I think. No doubt. He had some audio issues the last couple of times. Anand is with us. Nipur. Darth Nuno is here. Darth Nunix. Good. Bonji is here. Nipur Vishal. Okay, good. We're 4 minutes after. I'm gonna tidy up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and share the meeting minutes, and we've got a fair bit to cover in the notes. Shabai just messaged saying he's experiencing some network connection issues, so hopefully he'll be coming on. All right, good deal. Hola, hello. Okay, we're 5 minutes after. Funny enough, I'm sharing my screen and I accidentally went to the Meshery CNCF proposal, which is a topic for today. Not the thing I'm trying to bring up, which is the meeting minutes. No, that's Meshery Monkey. Too many. My browser tabs are a bit meshy. I apologize. It wouldn't be a community meeting if someone didn't make a horribly bad dad joke with something meshy. Okay, good. So Shabai's back. All right, fair enough. Let's get the call rolling. We're 5 minutes after. Thanks everyone for coming. If most of you know the drill because most of you have been here before. So please don't be shy inside the meeting minutes. slap your name down on the attendee list and jump in terms of helping take notes, because we can use all the help we can get. So, okay, very good. Good. If anyone tries to, sorry, we really got to fix how it is that people are able to get into the meeting. So, all right.
Was it not fixed like some time ago?
Yeah, I think what ended up happening, we just ended up adding a couple of new members recently, and I don't know that they've all been added to the main mailing list. So, you know, here soon, at some point, I will stop being such a cheap bastard and will like actually pay for like a $15 Zoom account or something. So, okay, good. All right. Well, we've got, so welcome everyone. Let's get rolling. We've got a few new faces on the call today. That's fantastic. We've got a bunch of old faces as well. And I mean that in the worst of ways in terms of old faces. With that, hopefully everyone can see the link that I just popped into the meeting, to the chat, which is the link to the meeting minutes. If you don't have access, please request it. Please somebody help me take notes, because I'm not going to capture all the attendees, I'm afraid. A few things, and particularly for those who are new to the meeting. So welcome to the Service Mesh community. We have a couple of weekly calls. One of them is this one, and it's sort of it's broadly open to anyone who is either learning about, using, or thinking about, or wants to talk about meshy topics. So very pleased that everyone's here. It's also a time to talk a little bit about a number of people here are contributing to the Meshery project, and so it's a time to talk about some progress on that project. So it's a bit of both. I'm gonna prattle on for a little while to get us kind of going and bring up some topics, but please feel free to interrupt as we go. So a few general announcements about members. So many of you remember Nick Jackson of HashiCorp. He's been on this call and participated in the community for a while. He's had a little bit of a break here. We've been spending a lot of time with with the console product manager and with HashiCorp in general, and they're asking Nick to come back. And so we will warmly embrace him when he does. My hope is that he might become the Meshery adapter maintainer for console. So I've spoken to some of you about a recent partnership that's been done here with HashiCorp, and I think I've shared a deck and some slides there. So HashiCorp wants to do a lot here in the community. That's great. A couple of announcements. There's been a number of you who've been here about as long as the Meshery project has been around, and that's right around a year now. Some of you are taking on new titles this week. So Ashish and Gunjan, both students at UEM Jaipur. UEM Jaipur is partnered with this community. Ashish and Gunjan have been doing work across kind of the three projects that we have here, which is the Service Mesh Landscape, Meshery, and then the Service Mesh Performance Specification. And they've been contributing to all three for coming up on a year now. And they've recently been asked to be maintainers of the Service Mesh Landscape, and they are. That's great. Congratulations to those guys. Very similarly for Nikhil Lada, has become a maintainer of, Nikhil, we're just talking about you, just become a maintainer of the Meshery UI. So this is great, because I was actually having a meeting with Liz Rice earlier this morning, the TOC chair for the CNCF, about Meshery being inbound into the CNCF and to get her support. And so she was supportive in the call that we had. And that's important to note, in so much as Meshery has about 94 different contributors now. and trying to graduate some of you to maintainership is a good thing. It's healthy for the community. It's healthy for the project. So a number of new faces this week. If you're new, please put your name in, because we want to give you a special shout out. Speaking of shout outs, Nuno, who many of you know, is on the call today. Nuno is, as of last time we spoke, now a Docker captain. So Nuno, no small feat there. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was like a bit of surprise still. So as you can tell, like I'm overjoying internally, but it's like almost like I don't know, still a dream for me. But yeah, it's it paid off. A few things that I can share here, however, is like all these community meetings definitely helped. So I choose wisely, like not wisely, but like I choose really, let's say the communities. I have like only 3 of them that I'm really joining. Meshery being the most active. Then I have Porter for the Synapse spec, and K3D for the part of Kubernetes on or K3S actually on Docker. But yeah, it's and now more likely I'm also talking with Canonical for the micro K. Sorry, I really have problems saying that. But for the demo that I did, once we will have the video, I will put it on. Meshery was there, like I promised. It went okay-ish. Yeah, don't thumbs up yet. With the people. So Meshery went up okay, but my setup was a little bit crazy. So the computer went like out of power at some point in time, so I could not do anything. So still, we could deploy Meshery with Meshery CTL, by the way. So I didn't show the graph thingy. It was good just to show like, okay, full Meshery by Meshery, if you want, by the Meshery community. And then I tried to install Linkerd, and the computer went like crazy. So but that was my fault. I was sharing, and I was like having a 3 nodes microcades trying to okay. You will see the video. I will post the video in the community once I have it on Slack.
That's awesome. Yeah. I'm. If it makes you feel any better, I've been there. you go to present something, and then naturally it doesn't work. That's awesome. Anyway, what a distinguishment that Nuno has received. That's really neat. Okay, I'll try to blow through some of these. So in terms of the project, I was just mentioning that it's long been the intention to get Meshery as a project to a level of maturity that that is appropriate to move it into the CNCF, and I think we're about there, particularly considering the contribution from from Google, VMware, HashiCorp, Red Hat, IBM, just the long list of contributors that we've had to the project, and the fact that there are any number of companies that are maintaining portions of Meshery. So a neutral ground for it would be fantastic. Related to that, we just approved SMI, its entrance into the CNCF and into the sandbox there. As most of you know, Meshery was a launch partner with SMI at the last KubeCon EU, and we've since been kind of participating in that community and helping advance that spec. And so there is a link to sort of a forthcoming list of ecosystem integrations, and Meshery being one of those. So all of you should take some amount of pride in that. That's great. We wanted to get Meshery listed in the landscape, and there's a kind of a 300-star minimum, I think, for that entrance. So a number of you this week hiked up the number of stars on the project. As a matter of fact, if you're on the call and haven't started the project, please do. We're not too far away now from making the grade. We're going to talk about Chaos Mesh here, hopefully, in just a moment. A couple other things real quick, and there's a new performance channel in the Slack, in the Layer 5 Slack, and that's to try to be more earnest in how it is that we're advancing the service mesh performance specification. The research there has a way of slipping behind. I was just talking with Istio, the Google employee that leads Istio's performance working group, and their desire to help advance this spec. They have an earnest desire. I think we just need to get organized around steps. Lastly, for the last couple of meetings, we've been talking about getting the .4 release out, and the longer that we wait, the bigger that release becomes. So this week we really need to cut that release and get it out. One other announcement real quick, and then I want to turn back to Chaos Mesh, and that is Simon has recently joined the community, has been making some waves, and has just released a blog post this week, so you might want to check it out. I figured this may or may not be of interest to folks, but I just got done signing another book with O'Reilly, the service mesh patterns, and so you guys might be hearing more about that in general. So lastly, coming back to, a couple of things. I think last week we finally wisened up and had Jimmy and Guangming of the Service Mesher community on this call, which was long overdue. Those guys have been doing a lot of interesting things. And so we want to be purposeful about engaging with that community. And so actually, I'll ask this, is anyone on the call today participated in or been a part of the Service Mesher community?
I guess I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, we'll be hearing, we'll be being more purposeful about the engagement there. There's some nice folks. Jimmy and Guangming have been very supportive. Actually, Jimmy was one of the first contributors to the service mesh landscape. So we've got a couple of other topics that we could chat through, but I recognize that there are a couple of members of the Chaos Mesh project on today's call, and we would do well to say hi, get to know you guys, and have you introduce if you can. I know it was at the last moment's notice, but just to get a chance to introduce Chaos Mesh to the community here, that would be wonderful.
Hello.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yep. There you are.
Hey, I'm Kelvin from the Chaos Mesh community, but I'm not on the technology side. So I'm just kind of in charge of the community development. So I'm not sure if I can give you a detailed introduction about Chaos Mesh, but just so you know, Chaos Mesh is a cloud-native chaos engineering platform that can orchestrate chaos experiments on Kubernetes environments. And I think there, that's that's something on the README. I have some of our maintainers here, so if Gozong, would you like to introduce more about it and some maybe interactions with the service mesh community for future plans, maybe?
Hello.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi. Well, I'm Gao Song, and I'm the maintainer from the Chaos Mesh. And I don't know if you know about the Chaos Mesh. So Chaos Mesh is the really Kubernetes native chaos engineering platform. It could inject chaos like network chaos, IO chaos, or some pod chaos, like pod is queued randomly or container is queued randomly by CRD. Use specific chaos by CRD and chaos mesh. The operator in chaos mesh would to inject the chaos. It is really Kubernetes native. And recently, we are now trying to find how to help service mesh with chaos mesh, especially for the chaos service mesh user, like cloud provider. We inject chaos in the service mesh control plan and find the problem or bugs about like performance, security, or isolation. It is really important in the cloud provider theory. Yes.
This is exciting for me. Yeah, we've so Calvin, fantastic to meet you. I know a number of the community members are interested in the topic, and then Song. We have had. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but we've had a couple of representatives of, if I remember correctly, Litmus Chaos on this call before, and they kind of walked through a little bit of what that project is about, which sounds fantastic. I think that they recently proposed it for incorporation into the CNCF through app delivery, through that SIG. And that's great, but it also indicates that part of their chaos focus is it has an orientation toward that SIG, or not necessarily specifically toward network or toward service mesh, which for my part makes me excited to have you guys on this call talking about chaos mesh, because it sounds like the project that you guys have is probably capable of creating chaos in a few different ways, but of the use cases that you've kind of spent time on and leaned into have been somewhat network centric in nature. So this is great. I know I just invited you to the call, like 30 seconds before the call started. So it's really kind of you guys to jump on and just sort of bring some awareness to the project, to this community. What would be the best way or the easiest way for members of this community to familiarize more with chaos mesh?
Yeah, I think there's some although we are because we are a very new project, and we're just getting our documentation as the GitHub wiki page, and also we have some I think we have 2 blog articles that yeah.
Oh
yeah, you can. Yeah, that's the documentation. And also we have released 2 blog articles regarding, the designs of Chaos Mesh and how to use Chaos Mesh to do a quick test, like kind of quick tutorial for Chaos Mesh. Let me send you I'm not sure whether I can. Yes, I can send you the link for the articles.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then, you know, about how long have you guys been working on the project? Would you say?
Yeah, I think we formally had this project in September last year. We open sourced on the last day of 2019. So this only been a few months.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. And then and actually, Calvin, this is funny because when you do present at SIG Network, this is a good practice run, I think, for that presentation. So I'll end up asking some of the same questions, but for my part, this is really exciting. I've got a bunch of questions that I want to ask and kind of spend time on.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. And maybe instead of forcing everyone, oh, that was nice. Maybe instead of forcing everyone else to listen to my questions, I'll try. Maybe I'll ask those. We'll invite you guys to the Slack channel or what have you. We'll catch up and learn more. This is nice. So quickly, I guess maybe one final question from me anyway. Can you introduce PingCap to the community here that might not know of PingCap?
Yeah, you can see there's a very simple bio info there. Oh yeah, PingCap is actually a database, open source database company. That's our database is kind of new SQL database, which combines the advantages of a transactional database and analytical database. Yes. Yeah, so it's an open source company. So our projects include the TiDB, which is the database itself, and TechUV, which is the storage engine, and also Chaos Mesh is our newly open source project, because we open sourced it actually before we open source Chaos Mesh. We use the chaos engineering a lot to to test the database itself. Then we had this Kubernetes solution and open source it.
Right. Right.
Yes.
That makes sense. And there's, I think, within just maybe, actually, I said that was my last question, so I'm going to stop.
It's okay.
Other people, anybody else in the call have questions about Chaos Mesh, the TiDB?
I will definitively test it against my several WSL Kubernetes or stuff like that. So, and I saw, like, if I'm correctly seeing the run your first chaos in 10 minutes, I will do it definitively. And actually, if it's running Elm tools and everything, I guess we could even have like a small portion or a in Docker app, actually. That's what it's made for, or Porter or whatever. So it could be bundled also. Yeah. So it's kind of nice. And I see, like, using all the Grafana also to see the performance. I see how it's mixing well with Meshery, actually.
Yeah. That was I guess Calvin and Song and June. Yeah, that's in part kind of an open question, and maybe one that's. Let me share the meeting minutes again. Maybe something to propose of you or ask of you is if you do. I'm assuming most of you haven't seen Meshery before, but if you take a moment to familiarize, I I think that there's kind of this open question as to whether or not there's some integration that might be advantageous, or that the two might parlay off of one another. And so in the past, Meshery has incorporated in a couple of other projects, and those projects continue to live and do their own thing. But Meshery has taken advantage of them and helped expose them to a broader audience. So food for thought. Like, as you guys go to get familiar with Meshery, I wonder if we'd consider, part of the reason we were looking at Litmus Chaos was that we'd considered something of a Meshery monkey, if you will, as a capability of as a broad capability of the project. And so,
yeah, we will definitely look at it.
Nice. This is
also actually, I just tried to access that doc, which I found I don't have access.
Okay.
Yeah, need to require access for that.
Probably got in it. Very good. We'll get that. Oh, you will have it momentarily.
Okay.
Okay. Fair enough. Anybody have any other questions about Chaos Mesh or any other comments? Yeah, it is pretty interesting. And then Calvin, did you end up clicking requesting access to the doc?
Oh, let me try. Yeah, I forgot to click the button.
Okay. Yeah, good deal.
Okay, now I did.
Nice. Okay.
Just did.
Cool. Okay, very good. Other topics. Sorry. Okay, good. All right. So other topics that I had listed here. I'm not sure if so. I don't know if Kanishkar is on, but he's been helping move over Meshery from using cookies and sessions to using JWT tokens. Kanishkar, are you on the call? I don't know that he is. Nope, I don't think so. All right. A couple of other topics that I had listed here. Nikhil, to kind of put you on the spot. I don't know if you want to, any progress on the provider UI or maybe something to demo there?
Hi, everyone. Is my voice clear?
Yep.
Okay, actually, I've been working on that, but lately, due to all that virus and stuff, I have to go back home. So I'm busy packing and finishing up my leftover work. So once I'll be back home, then I will it's a bit, part of it is left. Mostly of it's complete. So I will soon make a PR on enhancing that part.
Okay, very good. I think the last bit, it sounded like it was just a dynamic retrieval of the provider descriptions, I think.
Yeah. We need to add an API to fetch that. So just that part is left.
Okay. All right. Last time that we'd met, we'd said, hey, as we go to make the .4 release of Meshery, that ideally that would include the new Meshery adapter for Citrix Service Mesh, which we consider to be in something of a beta state right now. And there were a couple of us on the call, I think, that were volunteering to test it out. Sorry. Anybody got a chance to test out the Citrix Service Mesh, that adapter?
But just one thing is, like, I will try soon all the adapters again, because when I was doing the Docker app integration, first of all, do we have like what was it that we were discussing the last time? The adapters YAMLs, so I can reuse them when I do the Docker app integration. And secondly, every time that I have been testing them, like, okay, maybe 1 or 2 months ago, like Istio, Linkerd were working out of the box, no problem. Console was having some issues, and the others like Octarine didn't start it neither, and so on. So my question is, like, when it's like developed and like tested, I guess some of you are running it fine. Which platforms are you? Okay, I take myself aside. I'm WSL, Docker, whatever. Okay, but what is the platforms? What is the Kubernetes flavors that you have, that you are testing on it, and if it works actually?
So
All right, nice.
Okay. I've been assigned to like work on the Citrix mesh adapter, but I'm working on it using Minikube.
Minikube.
Minikube as
Perfect.
of now. And I was actually thinking of going with Kube ADM, going with a worker as well as a slave, a master and a slave node. But I wasn't sure of it, but I haven't tried it, but I'm trying to work on it.
Okay, single noded then, and for Lee, you too then.
Yeah, for me here, this has been a single node thing. And I think since at least last time that you and I spoke about some challenges that you were having with the Linkerd adapter, and Weiss on the call has fixed the Linkerd adapter and made sure that it, I think, deploy. And can you refresh me? I think it deploys the latest Edge release. And for console, unfortunately, it's still back on 1.5, which is in part why HashiCorp has been so keen to partner up.
But it's working for you, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, and the Octarine one also?
I haven't tried. That one's a little bit of a...
Okay. Because sometimes I think like when I'm on the edge, right? I'm on this edge of WSL, but sometimes I really need to understand, like, is it like a limitation of WSL, or is it a limitation of maybe some bug, right, on the adapter itself? So far I'm taking like you developing well, and WSL has its own limitations. But the more I go, it's like weird for me. Like Istio just worked like always. It's a bit heavy, I must admit, but it's just working. Linkerd was working. Then at some point in time, it was some bugs here and there, and then when I did the demo, it was working perfectly. So thanks a lot, and console. Yeah, console is the one that is having some issues, I think. But I need to go back and see, and go to the GitHub and maybe just tell you exactly what is going on.
All right. Yeah. When you do of the version of the console that Meshery supports right now, it's 1.5, which is really old in console's lifetime. It was almost before console was really had a service mesh offering. The style deployment that's on there is it'll deploy 3 console servers. And for me, since I'm running on a single node Kubernetes cluster, there's an anti-affinity rule for those 3 console servers. So only one console server will start up. The other 2 will fail to be scheduled because of that anti-affinity rule, wanting each of those to be on their own node. That doesn't mean that it's not able to perform its function, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there aren't some challenges experienced, given how old that release is.
Yeah, no problem. Again, I will go back. I will try to go for 3 nodes with microcates actually. So it's 3 WSL running in parallel with microcates on top of it. So it's not on Docker. But I have also like Kind and K3D on the back that I might test for multi-node. So I'll give feedbacks about all that.
That's great. Yeah, actually, as you do, and again, for those on the call, you may or may not be familiar with just the supported platforms that Meshery runs on, but Nuno has been expanding those, and there's a couple. There's like one or two that I think Nuno, you probably have forthcoming, right? Like one of them's the Micro K8S, maybe the K3D.
Yeah. Like I have blog posts year-long late, so yes. Definitively, I'll be there.
Nice. Okay, fair enough. Who else has topics? Because I think those are the only ones that we had teed up. Oh, actually, I should have done this. This is a bad form on my part. So there are new faces on the call today. So the Chaos Mesh folks, Calvin and Song and June, I think as well. Fantastic to have you guys. Vishal is on the call as well. It would be nice, actually, Calvin, if you don't mind. I sort of skipped the whole thing, but if you guys want to go around real quick and just introduce yourselves. That'd be great. A little more context about who you are and your focus.
Yeah, sure. First of all, thanks for having us. Yeah, we are glad to be here. Yeah, I'm Kelvin, and I'm currently working at PingCap, and I'm the content strategist and community operations for the TechEV and the Chaos Mesh projects. Yeah, mostly I write content, the documentations, blog articles, and to promote our project. Yeah, and also some community operations. Yeah, that's
Nice. That's very good.
Yeah. Gosong, Gosong is one of our maintainer for Chaos Mesh. Can you say hi to everybody?
Yes, and hi everyone. I'm Gao, and I'm also work in PingCap, and I'm the maintainer of the Chaos Mesh, and also TiDB operator. I'm also the maintainer of the TiDB operator, which is a Kubernetes project of the TiDB. But now I'm the Chaos Mesh maintainer. I mostly do the development work in these two projects, and I'm also involved the community work. Yes, thanks.
Oh, nice. Question for you guys: how is, and I know June is going to introduce as well, but how is TiKV related, or is it?
Yeah.
So there's TiDB and then
TiKV, yes. Yeah, TiKV is the underlying storage, because the TiDB, the database, it uses a coupled layered structure architecture. So TiDB is the stateless SQL query layer, and the TiKV is the underlying storage layer. It's also cloud native, and it was donated to CNCF in 2018. It's now a incubating project. Yes.
That's awesome.
And that's how they're related. Yeah. And we use Chaos Mesh obviously to test both of these. Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right. I knew I'd seen the titanium somewhere else before.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
And then Vishal and June, if you guys are inclined to say hi.
June, please introduce yourself. Maybe she's not around.
Hi guys, my name is June, and I just popped in to listen to your community meeting. Right now, I'm just work as the same with Calvin, and I'm not on the technology side. So, but I keep learning it. I'm just working as content marketer for Chaos Smash. I'm responsible for organizing for the content strategy and as well as some community activities. So I hope to learn more experience from your community, and I'm also interested in chaos engineering and other open source projects. So very nice to meet you all guys.
Oh, very good. Yeah, very nice to meet you, June. It's great.
Hi all. I recently joined yesterday, and I'm currently studying about what Meshery is and looking into the community guidelines. What talk has been shared to me. As soon as I catch up to something, I'll start as you all guide me. Thank you.
Just typing a message just to give everyone a forewarning that many of you have interacted with Kanishkar J, who's presented a few things that areas that he's worked on. He's not on the call right now, but just a fair warning, I think Vishal and Kanishkar are friends, so if Vishal is something of a troublemaker, it's you know what to expect, I guess is what I'm saying. So good. So Vishal, I'm just razzing you. Just nice. Okay. So Vishal, very, very nice to have you. Very nice to have the Gao Song and Calvin and June. Other topics that people want to talk about today. I know each of you have been working on a couple of different things. Anybody have things that they want to show or questions about aspects of the project that they're working on?
No.
Okay. And VJ, I don't know if you're in a place to be able to talk, but what's the current status of how far along you've gotten with Meshery? Mr. Chair Khoury. Okay. VJ might not be able to talk at the moment, so.
Can you hear me?
There you are. Very good.
Yes, I'm still in the reading process. So what I did was I managed to run that Meshery. I realized that there are a lot of things that I need to learn. So I downloaded a lot of watched videos about Docker and Kubernetes, trying out the various commands, the Kubernetes command in PowerShell. So I got the code from GitHub for Meshery. I took a brief look and I have the Go language installed. So I'm still in the learning process. I think I'm really far from being able to contribute anything, but I'm hoping that one day soon that I'll be maybe be able to contribute or say something that's useful.
Nice. Oh, very good. Okay, progress. Yeah, you're right that it's both a blessing and a curse that for many who end up joining and focusing on service mesh, that it's about the third major step that people need to take between Docker and containers, and then Kubernetes and orchestration, and then service mesh and networking. And so, yeah, it's good and bad. One thing that's top of mind for me, if Shivai or others don't necessarily have items that they want to talk about, it's a new capability on Meshery CTL. And so Anand, I'm kind of looking at you at the moment. That is that as those service mesh projects, as they go to adopt Meshery into their release process, they're going to look to use Meshery from the command line and integrate Meshery into their pipeline so that Meshery will perform performance tests and performance analysis of each of those service meshes as they go to get released. Now, for some of those projects, as a matter of fact, let me share this a little bit differently. For some of those projects, they're committing, and so if you can see this here, it's pretty small, but some of those projects are committing to incorporating Meshery into their release process. For some of them, they're doing it because they don't have performance testing today, and so having Meshery there will help them make sure that they're doing good engineering practices. And for some of them, like the Istio performance lead, they do have a bunch of practices around testing the performance of Istio. But the reason that they would incorporate Meshery, in addition to what they already do for performance testing, is in no small part because one of the bigger questions that people consider when they go to adopt a service mesh is the performance overhead involved in running a mesh, and coming to understand that. And most of you who've been around the project for a while understand that there's been a service performance management component to Meshery. And so given that that's such a big adopters question, that would-be adopters of a specific mesh are asking that question, they're often asking that performance question in context of comparing overhead, comparing the performance or comparing the overhead of one mesh to the next. And because those adopters are asking that question and doing that evaluation, that's one of the big reasons why Google or the Istio project would incorporate Meshery, is because it's a third-party tool that is unbiased and unopinionated in terms of how it's measuring service mesh performance. That once one of them is using Meshery in this way, the others follow suit pretty quickly because they want that service mesh to be well represented. Okay, so the reason that I was talking about that is to say that in order for them to use Meshery in their release process and to use Meshery in a programmatic way, we've been needing to enhance some of the, thank you, Nuno. I know you got to jump. They need to use Meshery in a programmatic way via CLI, so we need to enhance some of Meshery CTL's capabilities. So you, as a user, you're now able to invoke performance tests from the CLI, and there's a few different flags that you'd fill in to do that. Anand, one of those flags that we don't have support for yet, it's not listed appropriately, but it's the notion that instead of writing out how long of a duration, 1 hour, or how many parallel requests that it is that you want to run, instead of typing out this long command, we would be supporting a -f. We would be supporting letting people load up a YAML file that describes all that. And so I thought I would ask Anand or others that are focused on Meshery CTL, does that make sense, that what the outstanding need that we have on Meshery CTL perf? Good deal. I know Anand isn't in a place where he can talk over audio, I don't think, but so good. Okay, so Anand, that makes sense. Yep. Essentially, kind of the other way of articulating that is to say that of the service mesh performance specification, that spec is something that file, that YAML file, is something that we're going to want to be able to allow users to describe the test that they want to run and in a YAML file, and just point to that YAML file to be able to execute the test. Today, if you run Meshery, you're able to run the performance test, and when you're done, you're able to download the results of that performance test, and the results are downloaded in this service mesh performance specification format, in that YAML format. But we're only about halfway there with the spec. So we need the ability to let people invoke those performance tests from the command line using this spec file. So. Okay, so Anand, no pressure. But some of those service meshes are ready to engage, so that's good. All right, fair enough. We're about at the top of the hour. Does anybody have anything else they wanted to chat through today? And then I would say, for the Chaos Mesh folks that have joined today, fantastic to have you, first of all. Second, I'll pop over a link to, or join the Slack if you would. And then that way it'll be easy to get you resources to the Meshery Google Drive and the docs and things, to the extent that you want to dig in and check it out. So. All right.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, very good. I guess everyone stay at home, stay safe from the coronavirus.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Thanks all. We'll talk to you soon. See you next week.
Yeah, talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye guys. Bye Nikhil.
Bye guys. Take care.
Bye Durgesh. Bye Chandrash.